Yeah, peace. No, fuck peace right now. I'm just angry. This damn phone decided to update. I mean, computer decided to update the wrong time. So it's finally finished. I'm back. I was trying to get in for like 10 minutes, and I realized what it was doing. Greetings, everybody. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Yep. And not only that, I always remember the scene in The Matrix where the lady in red was walking and caught Neo's attention. But in actuality, that was what's the name of it? That was Agent Smith. So that color red is very potent. But we'll discuss that another time. That's for the private class. All right, for a couple announcements while people are checking in, realizing I'm finally on here now after my computer did the update stupid thing. Basically, in so many words, last night was we did a vampiric class, but it wasn't the first official class. The deadline to join that class and sign up is Sunday, 11 p.m. before we begin the first official class. However, there was some homework to do for next Thursday. So next Thursday, there is homework due. So if you sign up by Sunday, you will receive the homework that you have to work on for Thursday. As well as, let me do something here real quick. As well as you'll receive the self-realization initiation, which is the first step in the vampiric classes. So you do have till Sunday at 11 p.m. Eastern time to sign up. Sunday's class on Zoom will be myself and Brother Rogue Titan. The sister, the Cosmic Serpent, is unable to attend due to unforeseen circumstances. So she will do part 2 with us. Sunday's topic is sex magic, the power of sex magic on the left-hand path. The power of sex magic on the left-hand path. That is what the topic will be for Sunday on Zoom. If you want to be a part of that, contact myself at darkoccultist99@outlook.com. The invites will be sent out tomorrow around 7 p.m. So let me know if you would like to join. We're going in on sex magic and the power of that on the left-hand path. So that's this Sunday. Next Friday and next Sunday, there will be no classes on Sunday or Friday. I have things that I have to take care of. And so there will be no classes Friday or Sunday next week. The week after that is when we'll do the Power of Sex Magic Part 2 on Zoom. If you don't have Zoom, download it. It's an app. It works pretty much like Skype and everything else. But the benefit of that is you can have 100 people in the room. We could all interact. We could all see each other. We could all speak and ask questions live and direct instead of typing it in the chat room. So that'd be a good thing for people to download if they want to be a part of those classes. All right, so that's a couple of the announcements. Let's see. If Luna Child Skies is still on here, I just sent you some information of what you've missed. So hopefully you get that. Tanisha Palma. Hopefully you got the information. I think I sent it to you last night as well. Let me know if you got that. Mama Muerte, I ain't seen you in a minute, a long minute. I trust everything is well with you. Love me, Fro. Good to see you. So let me know, Luna Childs, guys, if you did get it. Check your spam as well, because some people have been reporting they haven't gotten anything. Sometimes it goes to spam. But let me know before we get off this evening, because I just want to make sure everybody's gotten it. So again, I'm gonna go over those announcements again. On Sunday will be myself and Brother Rogue Titan. Cosmic Serpent was supposed to be on the show with us, but unforeseen circumstances occur. She won't be on there. So the topic for Sunday is the power of sex magic on the left-hand path. So that will be myself and Brother Rogue Titan going deeply into the power of sex magic on the left-hand path. And part 2 will be Cosmic Serpent will be joining us. Unfortunately, like I said, unforeseen circumstances. So that part 2 will be 2 weeks from this Sunday. Next Friday, we will not have a video here or on Zoom. For this Sunday, if you want to join, email me at darkcultist99 for an invite. You can only get on that through an invite. So keep that aware, keep that in mind. Lately we've been having quite a few people join in because it's interactive. We can see each other, we can hear each other, we could talk, we could discuss things live and direct. All right. So let's keep it popping. For Thursday, for those who missed Vampiric class, it was the first unofficial real class going into Vampiric. The first official class is this Thursday. You have till Sunday to sign up for the class. It's a low for $20. You're just joining the class for $20 if that's what you want to do. If you do, darkcultist99 at outlook.com. Anisha, why don't you email me now? Make sure I have the correct email address. Hopefully I didn't send this to some wrong individual. All right. So do that. Email me now and let me and just shoot me a regular email and then I'll send you the information back. Okay, you got it. Cool. But I'm waiting. All right. So Looney Charles, you got it. Tanisha, hit me up and I'll send it right back to you. So yeah, if you want to sign up for the Vampiric classes, the first official class will be Thursday. You will receive the homework that we gave out for this last Thursday. And then you'll receive the self-realization initiation into the Vampiric current. You are initiating yourself. Again, you are initiating yourself. We are building a coven. There is no one leader. There is no one ruler. There is no one power. It is an interactive, so to speak, order or coven where we all come together, support each other, motivate each other, and go forth. If you can't keep silent and you feel like you want to squeal and snitch to everybody else what we're doing, what's going on, you need not attend because you don't have a silent tongue. You got a doodle mouth. Keep it moving. So right now the group is nice. You didn't get it? It's not there yet. Sunday. You'll get it by Sunday. Nobody's gotten the self-realization initiation yet. It'll get there Sunday. All right. So make sure that if you want to get into the Vampire class, you hit me up. All right. Good, Mama Muerte. Keep it moving. Keep it elevating. It's all right. We all get excited. Don't worry. Everybody was excited Thursday, and we had a good class. So, yeah, that's the announcements. So let's get into this evening. Okay, let's get into this evening. and let's get it on and popping. The discussion for this evening is Darth Malgus and the Sith had or understood Left-Hand Path Alchemy. Okay, Darth Malgus. For those who haven't read, this book goes into Darth Malgus, Star Wars, The Old Republic, Deceived. Very good information in this book, especially for those who are into the vampiric Sith kind of Luciferian current. They all kind of like intermingle or mesh with philosophies and understandings and workings of ritual magic. They all kind of interconnect. So make sure that you try to get this book if you want to know more. But it's essentially, Darth Malgus was a master or a Sith Lord of the dark side. When you receive to one of the highest levels in the Sith, you become a Darth, meaning you become more like a sovereign ruler. Darth Malgus was controversial insofar as that he was against some of what the beliefs of the Sith at that time was. Okay, he was against the belief of what some of those Sith at that time believed. He felt that they were trying to play too politics, and his belief was, in order for us to succeed and get to the level we want to get to, we got to destroy the Sith. Destroy the Jedi Temple, destroy the Jedi Order. But unfortunately, the Empire and the Sith had fallen into politics, and they were seeking a peace treaty with the Jedi and the Republic. Darth Malgus was against that. Eventually, when you go on and read the story, he gets to a point, and this is the point that we're discussing this evening. He gets to a point where he realizes what his weaknesses are. And as y'all know, we always discuss the left-hand path and the weaknesses on the left-hand path and what weaknesses we have and the things that hold us back. Okay? Now, these things that are holding us back can be anything. It's different for every individual, different for everybody. This is why it's recommended you take inventory of the things that make you the weakest. Are you a person who's attached? What do I mean by attached? Are you a person that's very attached to a loved one, attached to material possessions or things of that nature? The reason why this is important to understand is because this can become a weakness in your life. Now, last week, I believe I read Khalil Gibran, okay, who was a mystic, a poet and a mystic. And he had one of the best definitions of what it's like to be in a relationship, okay? And I'm going to read that again because this is going to segue into why the Sith understood left-hand path alchemy better than a lot of people, okay? On marriage, you were born together, and together you shall be forevermore. You shall be together when the white wings of death scatter your days. Aye, you shall be together even in the silent memory of, he said here, God. But let there be spaces in your togetherness, and let the winds of the heavens dance between you. Love one another, but make not a bond of love. Let it rather be a moving sea between the shores of your souls. Fill each other's cups, but drink not from one cup. Give one another of your bread, but eat not from the same loaf. Sing and dance together and be joyous. But let each one of you be alone, even as the strings of a lute are alone, though they quiver with the same music. Give your hearts, but not into each other's keeping, for only the hand of life can contain your hearts. And stand together, yet not too near together, for the pillars of the temple stand apart, and the oak tree and the cypress grow not in each other's shadow. Very dope. One of the dopest poems I read many years ago, and I still read this to this day. And it's important to understand that, because Darth Malgus came to a situation where he realized his greatest weakness was his attachment to someone he loved. He had to make a decision. For him to become more powerful, he would have to perform a level of alchemy where he would detach his strongest attachments, for it was making him weak. And in those weak moments, you can be susceptible to anything if it's pinpointing you or targeting you to take you out. So ask yourself, what is your biggest weakness? Is it love? And what I mean by love is delusional love. Love where you lose yourself in someone else. You forget who you are in that person, and you basically start to become that person. You lose your identity. You lose who you are in the mix of a relationship or in that process. Is your weakness a material possession? And you'll do anything to shine that sports car that you have. And you'll do and take hours at a time. See, this may seem like, okay, yeah, but these are things I like, or whatever the case may be. But the problem with that is this. If a person is targeting you, they don't like you, they're jealous of you, they're whatever the case may be, they know exactly how to get you. Darth Malgus realized this. He said, the biggest thing that's holding me back, the biggest reason why I have not fully given into the dark side, fully given into shadow work, fully given into overcoming my weaknesses and empowering my strengths to become greater, is because I have this one weakness, this one woman I love. And that is what's holding me back. I'm not going to ruin the story for y'all, because y'all got to read the story for yourself. I don't believe in what we do a lot of times is tell you the movie before you even see the movie. What I can tell you is that decision had to be made by Darth Malgus, where you had to face that weakness, that point of weakness. On a left-hand path, the philosophy is to challenge yourself every day. Particularly, though, challenge your weaknesses every day. What is your number one weakness? Is it the anger? Is it lust? Is it buying clothes? Is it whatever the case it is? You got to pinpoint these things, because if you really want to become that master, that sovereign ruler over self, that God over self, you can't allow your weaknesses to keep alive. You can't allow those weaknesses to keep you under control or keep controlling you or affecting you. Because the longer you allow those weaknesses to fester, allow that to rule within your life, then you will always be controlled. You will always be susceptible to something. See, the Sith are not about this patty cake world where we play patty cake with each other. We love each other and everything is hunky-dory and it's all good. Let's just love and kiss and hold hands and sing kumbaya. Bull crap. They understand the world on a whole nother level, and they understand that this world is a world of either a master or a servant or predator or prey. It's your choice which one you want to be. It's your choice. If you really want to be that predator, you go forth and you understand that this whole world revolves around predatory spiritualism. Now, people are going to say, no, that's not true. You know, there's divine love. The universe loves us all. God loves us all. Allah loves us all. Yada, yada, crap, yada, yada, whatever. Right? But if that was the case, then where's all this love that I don't see? Chaos, murder, rape, terrorism. Where's the hand of God in that situation? Oh, but you want to blame the devil at that moment. But then we could go back into the Old Testament where it tells you in the book of Isaiah that God created everything, the dark and the light, the good and the evil. So whatever this God is allowing you to just be pimped played and shafted up there without grease? Or are you going to take control of your life and say, I'm going to be this master who's going to just face these weaknesses and stop making excuses? If you feel that you got to snitch, or you got to always talk or always tell people what's going on somewhere else, that's a weakness in you. You need to check, because that thing can come back on you. Big time come back on you. If you feel like you got to have every brand new shoe that came out and you ain't paid your bills yet, that's a problem. To do the alchemy is to really understand your weaknesses. What are they? See, as a Sith, we empower ourselves by looking at our weaknesses and overcoming them every day. One of my biggest weaknesses is rage. I will go into a moment of rage quick, faster than you could imagine. But how do you use that rage when it occurs? See, I could go and get buck wild crazy and just snap like an idiot and do something stupid and end up hemmed up for life. Or I could channel that rage right into something that is beneficial. Like what? Like what? All right. Well, let's say that rage can be channeled into something more productive, like building something, accomplishing a task, getting up off my lazy ass and going to the gym so I can stop complaining if I feel like I'm gaining weight. Well, stop eating all them damn ho-hos and Dunkin' Donuts and Krispy Kremes. Your ass wouldn't be gaining weight. You understand? We make the damn excuses and complain about it because our weaknesses rule us instead of facing it. And if you just snap, use that rage against yourself, channel it inward, say, yo, I'm going to empower myself to stop making these damn excuses. And you use that rage in a ritual, you can overcome any blockage or obstacle that you have. But here's the problem with that too. And I'm happy my brother Demetrius is here because we've discussed this before. People like to play patty cakes with their issues, meaning they want to feel sympathy and empathy for their issues, their traumas, their problems, and their wounds. No doubt, everybody has something traumatic and hurtful and painful that's occurred from the past. But what's holding you to that is thoughts. It happened already. It's not happening now. It happened already. What holds you to that? It's thoughts. And the emotions connected to those thoughts is what's still ruling you, holding you back from getting to the level you want to get to be the master or be the God you want to be. It's holding you back because we want to baby our pain and traumas and wounds. We want people to empathize with us or give us sympathy. But what happened about, I want to be on the dark side. I want to do this shadow work. I want to work this left-hand path. I want to do all of that. What happened to that we hear quite often? Because if you really understood that, then you would say, you know what? As a vampire, we devour energy. And what is emotion? Energy in motion. So if I can devour energy, then can I devour my own emotions? Yes, it's energy in motion. And when that energy gets in motion and gets to higher states, it cuts off your reasoning, which is associated with logic. Thus, we end up doing stupid things. So where's the concept come when we start to realize this is a weakness? Let me stop enabling this weakness. Let me stop making an excuse for this weakness, and let me devour this weakness and consume this weakness. And like alchemy, taking lead and making it into gold and turn it into something that I could use that becomes more powerful in my life instead of constantly ruling me. Why do we seek someone's sympathy or empathy when you should be looking at yourself and kicking yourself in the ass for still holding on to things that are really associated with just a thought and a connection to an emotion. That's the power of the Sith, which is why they say peace is a lie. There's only passion. Passion is what gives you strength. The strength to face your own caca, your own doo-doo, your own enabling of your past. It's what keeps you there. So if you have the passion, it's the fuel you need that leads to strength to face this crap and do something about it. I watch and I've seen and I've observed many people on whatever path they want to claim, from conscious community, left-hand path, and everything else. And you constantly, what you hear people is what they'll do. Number one is always blame some external thing outside of themselves for their present situation or this situation or issue. They always will blame something else. I don't care how deep and dark you are. You want to know the sad reality, but the real reality, because that ain't sad to me. The real reality is you open a door for somebody to shaft you up the butt without grease. And then you want to blame that person when you open the door. You open the door wide open and say, come on in. Take advantage of me. Yeah, hurt me. Go ahead. Like as if you didn't know the person was straight cuckoo. Listen, how the hell do people fall in love in 3 months? Please, someone explain this to me. 3 months? How the hell can you know somebody in 3 months? And do not tell me that's my soulmate, my twin flame. Fuck out of here, please. Do not tell me that crap. In 3 months, you don't know if the person is a serial killer or not. But you want to fall in love because they made you nut 5 times or something. Please. Come on, people. Come on. I just don't get it. I don't get it. If it's not that, then we want to blame the white man for everything. The white man did this to me. The white man did that to me, etc., etc., etc. When I was in that mentality years ago, the white man abused me years ago and things like that. When I had that mentality. But as I got into the left-hand path and I started learning I'm the master of my domain, I'm the sovereign ruler over myself, and nothing can affect me unless I let it, that shit don't even grow in my sphere. It doesn't even happen in my life. And those who roll with me, it doesn't happen to them either. Because the door has been shut on that stupidity of external, giving your power to something external, something outside of yourself. See, a real Sith will not externalize things. A real Sith will say, what is Darth Vader's #1 weakness and why he could never overthrow Emperor Palpatine? Why? Or Darth Sidious. His #1 weakness was his attachment to Padme. That was his #1 weakness. It served him because it fueled his anger, but it also kept him under control by the Emperor, because he would never use that pain he felt for what he did to Padme to overthrow the Emperor. Instead, he would always submit to the Emperor. Okay? So, if you really want to understand a person, everybody has their own time frame. I'll give you the real deal. I don't really get to know people. My rule is 2. Not 2 months, 2 years. 2 years. If I really want to get to know you, it's going to be at least 2 years before I really open up to you and get to know you, and you open up to me and get to know me. And I'm going to observe, and you're going to observe me, and we're going to open up, and we're not going to hold shit back, and we're going to let it be real. But people want to fall in love in 3 months. And then you end up saying, I didn't know he was crazy. I didn't know he was going to kill 20 people. Of course you didn't know. Because all you was concerned about was getting, oh, he look good, or she looks sexy. Look at that fat ass, or all this BS stuff, which is all based on lust, not love. And we bypass our reasoning, our logic. We override that. Listen, I will tell you straight up. You can agree with me or not. I could care less. For the first 3 months to a year, especially the first 3 months, you ain't concerned about loving somebody. I don't believe it. I will tell you, until you get the first 3 nuts in, you don't know if you really care about that person. You really want that person. You don't know. Get a few orgasms or nuts in there. All right. Once that happens, then you'll start to say, okay, I really love or care about this person. Yeah, I really feel them, because now past the lust I've subsided, or the lust has subsided. And now I'm facing this person and looking at them without all that lust, overwhelming me. And I'm starting to really face them. And I either feel them or they freaking cuckoo. I ain't feeling them. I don't give a damn how good the sex is. I ain't feeling them. That's when you start to get to real reality of, okay, I'm not opening the door for people anymore, because I don't know them. I'm just really on a lustful stage. We got to open our eyes to things. I mean, I'm just saying, we got to open our eyes to things, because sometimes, I've gotten emails in the past. I love this person. What love spell can I do? I want him back. Listen, honey. You know what I tell people when they hit me up with that? I'll tell them, if he left you or she left you of their own volition, if they left you, why the hell you want them back? Do you not understand? They left you. That means they didn't want you anymore. So why would you do a spell to bring him back? I just don't get it, people. I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand the process. But the Sith understood this left-hand path alchemy. They understood that you have to face your greatest emotion. And it can either fuel you and empower you, or it could destroy you. If you go back to the movie Revenge of the Sith, which is Star Wars Part 3, and this is when Mace Windu went to try to destroy the Emperor, and then Anakin, in fear of losing his wife for good, basically destroyed Mace Windu. Right there, the Emperor told him, use your anger. It gives you focus. Everybody, if you think back to when you were last angry, it could have been a few minutes ago to earlier today or a few days ago, you were very focused when you were angry. Now, do some alchemy with that process and learn to use that anger to get the job done, to accomplish greater tasks. Learn to use that level of alchemy, mental, emotional, spiritual alchemy, where you could utilize your weaknesses, turn them into a strength. Stop being ruled by your emotions and rule your emotions. Stop being ruled by your lust and rule your lust. That doesn't mean you can't lust. Just don't be ruled by lust, where you end up doing stupid things, being controlled by these things. Instead, you rule your lust, you control your lust. You can unleash your lust when it's necessary, instead of diluting the lust and making the lust weaker because it's dispersed in all kinds of areas and directions. You take that lust, you cultivate it, you channel it, and you unleash it to a target or a focal point. That lust becomes stronger and can be used as a weapon, a strength, to make you a stronger person. Gotta understand that alchemy is what the Sith understood. But this is why they were hated by the Jedi, because the Jedi's whole opinion was that peace is everything. Don't give in to your emotions. Do not allow yourself to have emotions. So the Jedi become dull hermits. No life, no passion, just dull. Where we, as a people, are passionate by nature. Listen to the drums from Africa. Listen to the drums from Puerto Rico. Listen to the drums from anywhere in the islands, Jamaica, Trinidad. Listen to the drums in Brazil. Listen to salsa, samba. Listen to soca. Listen to merengue. Listen to it and see the passion that it fuels in you, how it makes you move, how it creates a rhythmic movement and fuels your passion and raises your energy levels higher. We are passionate people by nature, but we've become dull. We've had the passion siphoned out of us like you siphon gas out of a car. It's been siphoned out of us little by little. We've become dull human beings without any passion behind us. Peace is a lie, because to achieve the true level of peace, it ain't going to be in this state of existence. Chaos is supreme and chaos rules in this state of existence. True peace is when you understand that there is really no such thing as balance. Huh? What? But everything I was told was that everything is about balance. Okay. Keep believing that lie. Look up what balance means. Look up the etymology of words. Stop being fooled by what people tell you. Look it up. You understand that balance simply means an equal weight of distribution. That means everything is equaled out. There is no movement, no fluctuation. You're stagnant. You're just stuck, stagnant, without movement. There's no growth when you're stagnant. There's no transformation when you're stagnant. Instead, you should learn how to harmonize. Integration, harmonic integration. Harmony, different sounds or rhythms harmonizing to create a different sound that is rhythmic, beautiful, and brings life to you. Harmonize your darkest side of yourself with this intellectual side of yourself. Harmonize every aspect of yourself to go to another level. That's what the Sith understood. Don't think that this is the problem that people have. They think that the Jedi were all about the light and the Sith were all about the dark. No, most Sith masters study the light and the dark. If you study Darth Revan was a Jedi and then became a Sith. He had mastered the light and the dark. A lot of Sith study the light and the dark. If you go back to Revenge of the Sith again, Darth Sidious is sitting there, or the Emperor is sitting there with Anakin explaining to him about Darth Plagueis the Wise. And Darth Plagueis the Wise study all aspects of the Force, not just one side of it. That's the problem with the right-hand path. You only study one side of energy. You only study one side of spirituality. If you really want to master something, you study all sides. The true Sith will study all sides and master that, the light, the dark, and bring power to it. They become greater because they didn't just sit on their culos saying, what? The light is good. The light is right. Light is everything. Light, light, light. Light, light, light. And they can't even look at their own damn shadow. They can't even look at their own reflection in the mirror because it's so light and loving, peace, love, and light that if they see a reflection of their own shadow, they run like cowards. Straight cowards. That's how they run. Because they can't understand the concept that you cannot receive true enlightenment until you face your damn darkness. You cannot receive true enlightenment till you face your pains and wounds and learn to devour, absorb, and master and overcome that, and then use it as fuel. Weaponize your pain and your trauma to use it as fuel to become even more potent in your rituals, more potent in your magic, more potent in your thought process, more potent in your life, period. Demetrius, yes, he actually did study the dark in the cartoon Star Wars, the Clone Wars. There's a part in there where he actually had to face his dark side. He actually had to learn from his dark side, and he actually met Darth Bane in that. Oh, trust me, I lived this Star Wars stuff. I lived this Sith stuff as if it's real because I make it real. Because if you understand who the Sith are, you know that there's a relation and symbolism to the Temple of Set, the original Temple of Set in ancient Kemet. And you understand that the Sith, Set is all interrelated in philosophy, in theory, and in workings. So I lived this. Otherwise, I wouldn't have that flag back there. The Chaos Star of the Sith. Invoking the 6 directions: north, northeast, south, southeast, southwest, etc. Yeah, you know that. Those directions, invoking those 6 points. I live this every day because this is my reality. I'm not going to go back thousands of years ago and work and connect to gods that may or may not even like you if they're real. Okay, guys who haven't even been prayed to for thousands of years or connected to or work with thousands of years. But my pompous ass is going to go back there and say, I'm going to work with them because I am the best. Listen, I use stuff that is present in my lifetime to give life to me and work it from that perspective and put on the deific mask of a Sith like Darth Revan, like Darth Bane, like Darth Sidious, like Darth Nihilus, and annihilate, devour, destroy, and overcome all the crap in my life to empower myself to be greater. Every one of y'all could do the same. We're not slaves to anything anymore. We allow ourselves to be slaves because we still haven't understood the principle in totality of predator or prey. Listen, everything in your existence revolves around predator and prey. Yeah, but I love nature. Nature don't love your ass. So why do you love nature? Oh, because the Wiccans told you to? Mother Nature loves us. Gaia loves us. Listen, Gaia loved you so much. And watch this summer when the hurricanes wreak havoc all across this planet. She loves you, all right. No, see, that's the devil. No, see, God is punishing people. See, it's always all kinds of answers for the reality is predator and prey. Nature is feeding off your ass because it's devouring your energy because your energy might just be about to expire and it's time for your ass to go. Period. But we won't make excuses for that too. It's always something why the hurricane came. See, they were practicing voodoo in Haiti. That's why the hurricane came through there. It destroyed them people. See, they were practicing Santeria in Puerto Rico, so they had to destroy people there. Really? You guys are dumb, pompous assholes. That's what y'all are when you think on that level. It just shows your ignorance and how small-minded you really are. Nature is not your friend like you've been taught. You either wake up and realize that you either manipulate and empower yourself using manipulating the energy of nature, or nature's going to manipulate the hell out your ass. And it's doing it every day. Yeah, but Ravana, I love trees. Yeah, they love your ass too. They're devouring your ass every day because what are you breathing out? That carbon. What are they taking in? That carbon, giving you what? Oxygen. It's called predator and prey. They feed off of you, you feed off of them. Wake up. It's that simplistic. Now, if you want to bring it to the human level, in a civilization or society level, it's predator and prey. It started when you were little. You may not even realize your parents were predators off of your ass. You were a damn slave to them. Everything you did was yes, mommy, yes, daddy. If you didn't respond properly or do the right thing, here comes the belt or the sandal. I got the sandal, y'all. Caribbean households and even some African-American households, the sandal was prevalent. In Spanish, we call that chancletas, okay? The sandal was prevalent. If I didn't listen, my dukes was just like, bullseye, son. You're going to listen or you're going to get hit. See, submission. You're learning to be a servant from an early age. What's the next phase when you go to school? Who now becomes the master or the predator? The teacher. The teacher. The teacher is the one who does what? Makes you subservient again, because that's the authority figure you bow down to again. And if you didn't listen, the teacher punished you, and then when your ass got home, who else punished you? Your parents. You got the double whooping. And if your dad and mom were still together, you got the triple whooping, like me. My parents were together till I was 13. So, yeah, at that time when I was younger, I went to private school. Teachers could hit you. My teacher used to hit people with rulers. Rulers. Not these new rulers, damn it. Them old school rulers. Y'all remember them big wooden rulers? The wooden ones that hurt like hell when they say whap. Yeah, she used to punish us with that because I was in private school and they were allowed to hit us. Then when I got in trouble for that, I go home, my dukes unloaded. You thought that was it, right? Daddy come home. Yeah, he got them big old leather belts. Y'all remember them big leather belts that had like 5 or 6 big metal holes in it? He would go, pop, pop. You thought that was over. Submission. They put you or made you submit. Okay? So we got to understand this whole concept. Predatory spirituality. You feed or get fed off of. You're a master or you're a servant. That's the reality of life. That's what we deal with in the reality of life. The Sith understood this. So they said they were going to utilize the force and manipulate the force to empower themselves and become stronger. To not be victim to other people. To not be victim to false philosophies or theories or beliefs. Question everything. My boy Richard K. Page, who's written the Luciferian series, Alter Ego, Ego Sum, says even question science. See, I don't care if you believe in science, because there's parts I accept and study and gone to school to accept and study that stuff. But I even question science a lot, because that's just because they're telling you something doesn't mean they're giving you the whole scoop on it. I don't buy that shit. You question everything to understand that if the more you accept stuff, the more you should question it. Because if you just accept it without questioning, how do you know you're not being put back under another system of control? How do you know? You should question anything and everybody. That's what true Luciferians do. That's what true Sith do. They question the hell out of everything and everybody. I ain't gonna believe you. I don't care if you have a title as a doctor. Doctors have been known to make super amount of mistakes. So it's up to you what you accept. All I say is question the hell out of everything before you accept it to be a fact. Because the only true fact, sorry to hurt anybody's feeling, but the only true fact is you. What you accept as true or not, that's the only true fact. Period. Your subjective realm and what you create from that subjective realm, that's what's true. Anything in the subjective realm, you either accept it or don't. Doesn't mean it's real or not. It just means you either accept it or don't. That's based upon other people's subjective realm. And then they pass it on as theory, as beliefs, as facts, or whatever the hell else. If my subjective realm has not had the same experience as you, I can't co-sign on your BS. I can't say, yo, I got you on that. I believe you. You all good. If you dreamt that Dumbo and you were flying through the sky and you were on Dumbo the elephant's back and he revealed some straight magical formulas for you, that's on you. Don't expect me to say, oh, really? You're so powerful and divine because Dumbo came to you. Teach me. You're the greatest. You're such a magical being. See, that's what a lot of people try to pass off. They'll give you the subjective experiences and try to pass it off as if it's really factual or this is what spirituality is. No, it's your subjective experience. I wasn't there. Okay? It took place within your subjective universe or subjective realm. I wasn't there. So don't expect me to believe you and don't get upset if I say, okay, if that's what you experience, that's what you experience. I can't tell you if it's right or wrong, true or not. That's your personal experience. But don't try to pass it off as something I should believe or accept. But they do this quite often. You can hear people constantly telling you about their personal experience. They'll tell you about them taking an acid trip and try to tell you, oh, I saw this and I saw these beings and that being. And Negroes love to be entertained and accept that BS as being real. Cut the doodle crap out. Okay? Cut it out, please. Because every time I tell you about my subjective experience, some way or somehow I'm manipulating your mind to put it under my mind control to accept what I'm saying as factual. I don't want to be believed. That's why I will always tell y'all, do your own research and check everything out. Don't even think for a minute that I just sit here and not listen to other people. Those who go Thursday night know I listen to everybody's input and I do some of the suggestions they have come up with certain spiritual work or things to do. It's not a one-man show. If we're going to work this, let's work this as a family, as a unit. Work it. But it's not about accepting your subjective reality as this is the almighty truth. I don't give a damn how occultist a person is. I don't give a damn how many years they've been teaching. If their basis for making you believe them is revealing a lot of subjective reality or subjective experiences, as if that's the only focal point to you to believe them, and you believe them, you deserve to be manipulated. You deserve to be manipulated and mind control, and anything you get from that is your choice. Deal with it. Period. Deal with it. Because you open the door for that. You accepted somebody's hocus pocus. It's all up to you after that. What else happens? Period. This is why when people tell me about their dreams, I'll listen and I'll tell them what might the symbols mean, but I'll say, what does it mean to you? Because symbols can mean various things to various people. So I'll say, okay, it could be this, this is that, but what does it mean to you? You have to interpret it for yourself, because you accept anything or everything I'm telling you, that means you believe me and you're a fool. Because I could be straight lying to you and you'd be like, oh, well, you know, let me accept it because he makes videos. I don't give a damn. Because when I'm not making these videos, I live a real life too. I like to dance. I love hip hop, house music. I'm a dancer. I love traveling. I love sports. I live a real life. But we have this problem as people where we like to be entertained. So when we find entertainers, we are victim of falling under the ethers. You know, we get in the ethers and we're like so like in the clouds when we see these people making videos and everything else. Oh my God, that's such and such. Or that's, please cut that crap out. I remember when, I'm going to just say this real quick. I remember when I met certain people, right? We had done rituals and different things like that. I met certain people after the fact. And after the fact, they were like, oh, you know, I want to thank you, Ravana. You've done this and this and this and that for me and all this. I said, I didn't do a damn thing. You did it. All I did was share. You did it. I don't like when people try to like put people up like you saved my life. No, hell no, I didn't. Nope. You saved your life because you did the work. All I did was share information from my past experiences traveling different spiritual things. That's it. Don't want to be followed. Don't want people looking up to me. None of that crap. Nope. You are the one. Anything you've accomplished through rituals, you did the shit. Nobody else did it but you. So stop giving thanks to everybody outside of yourself for a ritual. They could have shared some shit and, hey, you liked the ritual and you worked it, but you still the one that did the work. And you still the one that made it manifest and got the results. So stop looking at all these other dudes and constantly bigging up. Oh, this person's so great. This person's so great. I love this person because look at all the information and videos. That's great. But did you work it? All the videos and all the people y'all watch on videos, did you work the stuff they're giving you? Or you still just worshiping them subliminally, not even realizing you're worshiping them? Demetri is silly as hell. Okay, I'm gonna open it up for questions now. First, before I do that, I'm gonna scroll up and see any comments or questions. All right, let's see, peeps. All right, Tanisha, you know, let me see if the email came through. Tanisha, I still haven't gotten the email from you. I have no clue what the hell is going on, Tanisha. Let's see, man. It still hasn't come through. I'm gonna put this in the chat room one more time, Tanisha. Are you sending it to this address? Because if you're sending it to anything other than this, I'm not gonna respond because I don't check the other things as much. So it should be darkoccultist99@outlook.com. Check it out and make sure that's where you're texting me, because for some reason, texting me. Make sure that's where you're emailing me. For some reason, I didn't get the email that you said you sent a little bit ago. So, all right. That's right. Wacky J 2012 says your individual. Jason almost butchered that word completely. Your individuality is important in a relationship. I would say that is one of the most important things in a relationship, is to maintain your individuality. Do not lose yourself in the other person, for you no longer will be who you are, and eventually there will be problems in a relationship. Not only that, but let me also share with you, through my experience, what I feel is one of the other biggest problems in relationships. Okay? One of the biggest problems is unrealistic expectations that we put on each other in relationships. Unrealistic expectation. Let me give you an example of what I mean by that. You got with this fly honey. This girl's beautiful, intelligent, curvy, the whole nine. Just bam, boom, bam, everywhere. But she was a club girl when you met her. You know what's unrealistic about your expectation when you get with somebody who is a club girl or club guy? You unrealistically expect them to change overnight when all their life they've been a club girl or club guy. Not happening, folks. It's unrealistic. And you're putting unrealistic expectations on that other person, and most of the time they're going to fail it. Not all the time, but a lot of times they're going to fail this unrealistic expectation you put on them. Another unrealistic expectation. You honestly think that you're in a relationship with somebody, that person's not going to look at someone else or desire someone else? You're a goddamn fool. Sorry. I'm just saying like that. Goddamn fool, damn Satan fool, whatever the hell terminology you want to use a fool. If you think you've been in a relationship with somebody for a little time, and they're not going to look at someone else or have interest in someone else. It's just not. Cut it out. It's not realistic. It may be realistic in a twisted, real religious mindset that you've been beat down and forced to accept, but it's not realistic. Not even the damn pastor that's sitting up there in the pulpit is faithful. Damn it. How many pastors have gotten busted for cheating with Sister Martha? And it comes to light. Huh? How many pastors? Some of y'all might have gone to church in the past where the pastor was dipping. He was dipping with Sister Martha, Sister Trina. He was dipping with Sister Rashida. He was dipping. You mean to tell me you think the pastors, that's unrealistic, folks. I'm just saying, that's unrealistic. Anyway, let's keep it moving. That's right, Andre Polk. Living in the past, playing the victim leads to a lifelong of being preyed upon for all eternity. Saka 13, Kyoto, passion is fuel. Yes, it is. Most of our failures, or all of our failures, are self-induced. Some shape, form, or fashion, they're induced by ourselves. That's right. Most of the time, for the first 3 months, you in love with the sex. You're in love with the lust of it, the lust of everything. Until you get them nuts out the way, you really don't know if you love someone. You in lust with them, and they fuel your passion. Boy, they get you riled up. They get you energized. But do you really know you love them? Interesting. Okay, anyway, let's keep going. That's right, Demetrius. In 3 months, listen, like I said earlier, I say once you get the first 3 nuts out the way within the first 3 months, then you start seeing the crazies or the crazy show up in people. Then you know if you want to roll with this person or not. Because you'll see it. If you pay attention and stop being put in the ethers of lust, you'll see something they do or say. You're going to be like, what? Did they just say that or do that? And if you really stop being put under the ethers, you'll pay attention to that. You'll be like, that's a strike, buddy. I got to pay attention in the first 3 months because there's too many strikes in the first 3 months. That's it. It's a wrap. Just be real. All right. Saka 13, Kyoto, that's correct. When you focus your anger, you'll accomplish a shit ton of stuff, whether it be mentally, physically, or spiritually. And that is 100% correct. When you learn to focus, not just your anger, but I'm going to just go a little further and say any part of your emotions, when you learn to focus that, you can accomplish great works. You can accomplish great works when you learn to really channel or focus your emotions. You can accomplish greater works than you could imagine. Luna Child Skies, you can hold on to that anger. There's a technique, but when you join us Thursday for the first Vampiric class, because we're going to be dealing with the breath and the emotions and things like that in this first official Vampiric class Thursday, I'm going to share with you exactly how to really hold on to that anger and focus it. That's right. Dragon Ball Z, that is especially true there. They use anger to amplify their own power while controlling their anger. That is 100% true. When Goku got pissed off, right? Babatunde Alatunji has an album called Drums of Passion. Yo, Demetrius, I'm happy you said that. That's one of the masters of drumming. If you ever want to hear a master of drumming, Babatunde Olutonji or Jai is a master of that. And what's even more interesting, when I was at Howard University, I dated his niece. Yeah. I'm special. Yeah, right. All right, so the Hulk is another deific archetype example of anger and how it fuels and how it could either control you or you be controlled by it. So that's perfect example, Necro Cannon. Yeah, I got the sandal and the belt too, Saka. That's correct, Ritual Spirit. The earth has its own consciousness and will devour, destroy, or give life to and transform things. That is correct. This is why species become extinct after a while. But we're trying to play above nature and be like, oh, let me save this species. When sometimes we could be doing harm to the planet by trying to save a species, then letting that species become extinct. Yeah. That's right. That police bell was big as hell too, Chaotic Scott. Felt bad for you, brother. All right, shit, this shit skipped. Where am I? Where am I? Okay, there we go. Yes, Robert Kiyosaki is one of the individuals that I studied and read a lot from. I've actually attended some of his lectures and things of that nature. He has a lot of good stories about things like that. The wealth mind and the slave mind, or the poor mind. Very, very interesting information and good to study it. A whole cult, huh, Demetrius? All right, Luna Child, good question. What exactly is the work, the shadow work? The shadow work is tapping into your subconscious mind where your trauma, your wounds, your pains, your issues are buried. And these aspects of ourselves have ruled our lives from the shadows for far too long. They're the ones who make you react by flight or flight or fight response. A lot of times is because we're still coming from the wounded child. We're still the wounded child mentality. And so our responses or reactions are coming from those wounds that were inflicted upon us when we were a child. If we don't go into the shadow, the subconscious, the abyss mind, these shadow aspects of ourselves will continue to rule us and to control us and to devour us to the point that you become a servant and scared the rest of your life to even get in a relationship, to even socialize, or to do many things like that. That's those wounds and trauma and pain that are ruling still to this day. So doing the shadow work is doing the work to go into that area of ourselves to overcome those blockages and obstacles, those pains, traumas, and wounds. That's essentially is what the shadow work is. That's true. All right. Wacky J says that's true. In time, I realized that you, he, or they didn't save me. They inspired, sparked something within me that assisted or motivated me to make the change and do the work. Yep. You. Yeah, Tanisha, I still haven't gotten anything if you email. So maybe you might yeah. Let me write your email address down. Because just for some reason, Tanisha, this does not seem to be working. For some reason. All right, so I'll get on it, Tanisha. All right, so Yep. Mastering your self-savior, or learning to embrace the savior of your which is yourself, is not always easy sometimes, but it leads to endarkment. Many will say enlightenment, but I don't roll like that. I deal with endarkment. I hear you, Tanisha. But like I said earlier, you don't have to roll with the Star Wars, the Darth, the Sith, or none of that. It's just another philosophy that can be utilized on the left-hand path. Because when you study Luciferianism very closely, vampiric or vampire magic very closely, you will see many, many resemblances to Sith and the Sith philosophy and the Sith lore. You will see it, and it'll click. A light bulb will go off, and you'll be like, "Word, okay, I see these similarities keep popping up." And that essentially, in the left-hand path, you learn to extract what you're able to from all these different paths or systems that you can use to create your own personal path to empower yourself and make yourself stronger, wiser, etc., etc., etc. You can do all of that. Doesn't matter what is it that you've extracted, or have you studied it or not, because you can always extract from anything. Sister Martha, huh? Yeah, she was smoking hot. That is true. That's why the pastor got busted. Used to call him that, huh, Demetrius? Word. Yep. The Mears did the same thing. The Sheiks. Yeah, I know a lot about the Sheiks as well as what they did. All right. Any other questions, y'all? Any other questions? Again, while I'm waiting for questions, Sunday we'll be on Zoom. Myself and Rogue Titan. The Sister Cosmic Serpent can't make it because she has unexpected thing pop up, so she's not gonna be able to make it. So Sunday we'll be on Zoom. The topic will be sex, the power of sex magic. Part 2 will probably be 2 weeks from now. On Cosmic Serpent will join us for part 2. The reason why is because next Sunday and next Friday, well, this coming Friday and this coming Sunday, right? Not tomorrow. Wait, let me say this shit another way because I'm confusing myself too. Next Sunday, March 31st, we won't have a class on Zoom. And that Friday, March 29th, we're not going to have a YouTube session. Okay, so keep that in mind. So this coming Sunday, we will be on Zoom discussing the power of sex magic on the left-hand path. If you want to be on there, email me for an invite. Okay? Email me for an invite. On Thursday, vampiric class, we will be going in. That will be the first real official class for the vampiric class. You have till Sunday 11 p.m. to sign up for the vampire class. If you want information on signing up, email me at darkoccultist99@outlook.com. All right, you'll receive the homework that we will have and go over this Thursday, because we had a class this Thursday that just passed yesterday, but it wasn't an official class. It was still a private class. We gave homework out and a mirror ritual and stuff like that. So if you sign up, you'll get that information to roll with moving forward. Okay, so that way you can complete that by Thursday. Keep that in mind. Let's see. All right, the Star Wars saga is a 9 movie series. The 9th movie is supposed to come out next year, right? Yeah, next year. The Sith it's the Force, and there's the Jedi and the Sith. The Sith are the dark side of the Force. The Jedi are the light side of the Force. There's many books, Star Wars novels that you can read. There's video games. There's other books like the Book of Sith and things like that you could read that go into it. So check that out. If there's something, you might find something in there that might interest you or spark you that you could resonate with. If not, it's all good. It's not everything is for everybody. So always keep that in mind. Dark Light, good. Just finished the Darth Bane trilogy. Yeah, it was fire. I think I've read it 4 or 5 times now, but I'm back on part 2 again. Part 2, to me, the best out of that trilogy, Dark Light, was part 2, because that's when he worked holocrons and got more information through the holocrons and created his own. That's my favorite part there. Okay, so when Lucifer was banished from heaven because of pride, do think it was because the so-called God was envious? Well, first of all, here's the thing. The viewer, here's the thing. There's many aspects to this one question. Let me say why I say that. There's Gnostic Luciferians, there's theistic Luciferians, there's agnostic Luciferians, there's all kinds of Luciferians. The question in itself means that you would have to believe in some theistic format, kind of a theistic Luciferian aspect. Okay? Because to accept that God was envious, let's say, and there was a heaven, is still within a kind of a religious format or religious motif. What happens is that if we accept that Lucifer was banished from heaven, one, we'd have to accept heaven is real. I don't believe shit about heaven being real. Heaven's a state of mind, period. 2, because of pride, do I think it was because the so-called God was envious? If there was a God and he's supposed to be, or she's supposed to be, almighty, all-loving, divine, powerful, then this God to be envious means it wasn't really the almighty, divine, the omnipotent, omnipresent, because it had human emotions. And if God is envious, then that means that God is not infallible and all-powerful, almighty. It's within the human spectrum. So when we look at that, we have to really look closely, because that question in itself can be dissected various ways. And that would mean God to be envious deals from human emotions. Okay. So as the viewer, okay, you're Gnostic Luciferian. Well, then in that case, then we'd have to look at it in a different way. Okay. Dealing with the Gnosticism aspect, then essentially Lucifer being banished from heaven would be the fall of you, the fall of humanity, the fall from your higher intellect or higher self to your lower self, right? And the enviousness that God displayed was the human emotions that control us, rule us, or can devour us and make us weaker. So the question is, though, if Lucifer was able to expose God for this emotional state, then Lucifer exposed God as not being the true God. Lucifer realized that he wasn't proud. He was just exposing a fake God that was passing him or herself off as the true God. And I exposed you, but because I exposed you, you got mad and basically did what? Cast me down to earth or hell, as they say. So there's various aspects to that. But when I go into that, the way the question is asked, I have to dissect it the way it's written. Now that I understand you're Gnostic, well, there's a different thing to that. So when we understand the whole principle behind that, we understand what Lucifer represents. Lucifer represents what? It represents your true self or your higher self, ruling self and being governed by self, meaning there would be no God outside of yourself. But if there was a God outside of yourself, how could this God display emotions that would allow it to have emotions to the point where it would try to get rid of you, destroy you, or eliminate you? So in essence, God is weak. Lucifer represents not a fall, But Lucifer represents a detachment from the mastermind, meaning the master manipulator trying to control the true gods, but manipulating us to make us think that we're proud, or have the problem of ego or egotistical, and not being who we really are, the true God. So that power of Lucifer was able to expose the false God, so we could realize we're the true God, and that no one can judge us by ourselves. No one can do anything to us unless we allow them to. And thus we have to question even this symbolic story of the Bible. Anyways, that's another note. Darth Bane, apprentice. Darzana was the shit too. She mastered Sith sorcery. Yes. Darth Bane was the ish. Mumsoi 3. 3 what? 3 books? 3 movies? 3? No, it's not. Yeah, Dynasty of Evil. That last part is awesome. But to me, Rule of 2 is the best out of the series. But that's just my personal opinion. Sage Ventress was the ish too. Any other questions, comments, concerns? It's getting warm in here because it's warming up even more down here in Orlando now. Instead of getting cool tonight, it's actually warmer than it was earlier. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Okay, where's this at? You know what? This is some doo-doo stuff right here. Can't stand when I think I'm typing and I ain't typing. They're still not typing. It's upsetting me. All right. If you have any questions, type it in. I'm gonna get with y'all in a second. Give me a second, y'all. All right. Tanisha, check now. I just emailed it, so check now. Yes, that's 100% correct. But here's the thing. Let me explain why I don't go into that perspective. It does represent the pineal gland, has always represented the pineal gland, right? The human mind is the prison or the matrix. Is it really? Because your mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy. If you learned the power of your mind and you utilize the power of your mind, it can't be a prison. Your mind can be the actual vehicle for endarkment or enlightenment or transformation. So again, I understand that symbolism and what people have utilized that, but when we say anything is a prison, we have to understand that all prisons are made to either be broken or believed to be able to hold you or incarcerate you. Okay? But is really the human mind a prison? It can be. But in my perspective, it also can be your weapon. And the weapon that you can use to either accept the prison being there, which means you've limited yourself and accepted that philosophy, or the prison never existed and you've awakened to that reality and you're now free. The Matrix. So we got to look at that closely, because why I don't discuss a lot of that symbolism is because, yeah, that's understood. That's understood. But when we get caught up in things like the pineal gland and this, see, here's the problem with that. I like to focus just on your practical life experiences and how Lucifer relates to the practical life experiences. Not so much the metaphysical aspect of it, the pineal gland and etc. That's fine. I deal more with the practicality of how Luciferian mindset can apply to your physical life and your spiritual life, meaning the works that you do. In your physical life, your Luciferian mindset, how do you use it in your physical life to empower yourself? Your spiritual life, how do you use that Luciferian mindset to empower yourself in the spiritual aspect? Because I'll explain what I mean. We go over this in the vampire class too. We go over chakras, we go over all of that. It's good to know that. But if you ain't doing the damn work, then it's just information. And then times if you never do the work, it becomes useless information because you don't do nothing about it. So I deal more with the practicality. What can you do in practical essence of your work? The first thing, before even the pineal gland, is deal with your trauma, wounds, and issues and pain that's been enslaving your mind and making you feel weak and useless for a large part of our life. So before we get to the actual metaphysical or the actual, energy manipulation and work like that, deal with the shadow self. Focus on the shadow self and how to master that part of ourself. So then when you do overcome these blockages and obstacles and wounds and pain, and you go into working the chakras, you go into raising the kundalini, not just raising it, but how to actually keep it in the pineal gland, how to actually keep it there longer, how to actually learn to control that aspect through the bandolocks and things of that nature. Then there's no blockages or obstacles that stop us from getting there, because we've dealt with the shit that would have held us down or brought us back down. And then it becomes a task that is hard to repeat. So that's why I don't go into those things a lot. I do that more in the private classes, because we can get caught up in chakras and kundalini and things like that, and then don't focus on the things that's been holding us back from not even accomplishing that kind of work. It's the shadow work. And much of what I deal with on the left-hand path is the shadow work. The subconscious, how to reprogram that subconscious and decondition that subconscious from what we've been doing most of our life, how to break free from that, how to overcome these things that have been enslaving us, personal, physical, your own personal, physical, mental, or spiritual things that you personally enslaved yourself with. So when we get to work in the pineal gland or raising that kundalini, the black and red serpent, to the pineal gland, there's nothing that's going to block that path. There's nothing that's going to divert that energy from getting there. There's not going to be any aspect of our minds that's going to say, I'm weak, I'm not strong enough to do this, or I have this issue, or I have this. You've dealt with it, you've worked with it. So that's my perspective, and that's how I use Luciferianism. It's more of a mindset, and I use it as a mindset to empower myself, to devour the weaknesses of myself, devour the aspects of life, to overcome these things, instead of always looking at things from a metaphysical level, or always looking at things further than just the first step. You and that person you look in the mirror every day, and the shit that's been holding us back since day one in that mirror, looking us back. So I feel you. I'd go into that stuff day and night if you wanted to, but it doesn't serve a purpose a lot of times when we're still dealing with why I get angry when someone doesn't pay attention to me. That attention issue has been there all my life, And at that point, the pineal gland is irrelevant if I can't get past the attention issues I've had all my life. That's made me do extreme things just to receive attention. So if I don't get a hold of that, what's the pineal gland going to mean? Really? Like, what's it going to mean at the end of the day? You can't even get past the shit that holds you down, or the mentality we have of weak minds, or lack of confidence, or lack of strength within ourselves. All right, let's see what else is there. Right. But here's the thing. When you look at Seth had a priesthood of 72 people, which in time, the other philosophies or the other theories in Kemet said that they were Sabah, or demons, the 72 demons or fiends of Set, as they would call them. Set had a priesthood. He had a temple. And in his priesthood and temple, they tended to wear a lot of red and black. And in his temple, the individuals were practicing sorcery on another level. So much so that some of the stories even say that when Set was about to be attacked, him and his people were about to be attacked by the Heru priesthood and Amun priesthood and things of that nature, he did some rituals with his priesthood to have immortality. And in that ritual, he created what became known as the first vampires or vampires. But those stories are things you have to dig to find them. That's one of the stories of that. So Set, was solo to a point. Set was solo insofar as he felt that he was a god and that he wasn't going to bow down to any other god. But he always had a priesthood, and he always had his own soldiers, and they wore red and black like the Sith do. You understand? So Set is representation of the Luciferian mind, but he's also representation of the Setian mind. I mean, of the Sith mind, because they resemble each other in a lot of ways, philosophies, and a lot of the works. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's a different story. My bad, son. All right. Everybody on the Dynasty of Evil tonight. Yeah. All right. Any other questions? All right. There's no other questions then. How about I see y'all Sunday on Zoom? Let me put my email address again here if you want to invite for myself and Brother Road Titan, speaking about the power of sex magic on the left-hand path. There is the email address for an invite for the Zoom class on Sunday with Rogue Titan and myself discussing the power of sex magic on the left-hand path. Okay? Hit me up by tomorrow, no later than 7 p.m. That's when I'll send the invites out for the Zoom class. Shit, the clip falls, I think. Wait a second, hold on. Is it Darth? Hold on. It's in my notes. Let's see, where is it? What the fuck is the name of this shit? Let's see, where is it? I can't remember the actual name right now. My mind's going blank, but I do know. Let me see if I can find in these notes real quick. Where's the clip off? Clip off. Clip off. Clip off. Where is it? Okay, hold this. This fucking thing. Okay, number 11. Let me see. Oops. Yeah, I believe. No, it's not that. It's. Is it me out? I believe it's Darth. But don't quote me on that. Mine's going blank this evening. All right. Yep. That's what I said. I believe it's Darth. Can sex magic be done solo? Yes, sex magic can be done solo. You can masturbate. You can bring yourself. Listen. Bring yourself to an orgasmic state without releasing it. Do this several times to build up the intent. To build up the energy. Your passion, your desire, and your intent should match that intensity behind the energy, the sexual energy. You can masturbate several times, but do not allow yourself to orgasm right away. 3, 4, 5 times. Bring yourself, or what some people call, to the edge. Bring yourself to the edge several times. Build up that energy. When it gets to the highest point, when you feel like you can't hold on no more, make sure that when you're orgasming, it matches your desire and intent. Okay? It matches it. Meaning the passion and the fuel and the desire behind it should match when you release. Don't just release without letting loose. Don't just release without the intent being powerful too, and the desire being powerful, because then it just comes down to you nutting, busting off, or whatever. Nah. Yeah, that's what I found. It's where is it? Right, that is the abyss. It's Thamiel. Thank you, Demetrius, for the assistance. And yes, the red and black energies are very strong currently, and that red and black energy is also symbolic of the red and black serpent that are coiled in the sacral root chakra area. Energies are high because those serpents are going to rise. So that also could be symbolically related to that. If you see it in dreams, it could also be related that you might want to work with the red and black serpent, or what some call the Kundalini within. Saka 13 Kyoto, that's because Ra, Heru, Asar, a lot of those stories resonate with people because it's similar to what they've been raised under, which is Christianity, Islam, Hebraic teachings, things of that nature. So it resonates with people. When you hear of Set, again, through a religious mindset, they think of Set as the adversary or the Satan or the Prince of Darkness. So that's why you won't hear a lot of people discuss that when it comes to Set. But in reality, Set represents the nonconformist mentality, the nonconformist mindset of not following others and worshiping others. And if I'm trying to keep you under a religious mentality, I definitely won't share that with you, because I want you to feel that Heru is the new Jesus. He's your savior. Matter of fact, I've seen memes where people have said, Heru is your savior. Believe in Heru. This is what people have done. So-called conscious people have passed off Heru as Jesus now. And Antichrist actually would embody the adversarial energy, meaning that's the adversarial current. They would be symbolic of a Seth, symbolic of a Satan, a Lucifer. They'd be symbolic of Ahriman. They'd be symbolic of Thanos. They'd be symbolic of Megatron. I'm just using that as examples because it's anti the established religion or anti the state religion. Although they'll tell you Christianity is not the religion of the state, in reality it is. Because when you look at it, it is really, in truth, coded within your own dollar bill and everything else. But we know that's not the God they're referring to, but still, this is what they tend to make people believe. So yes, the Antichrist would actually be the adversarial current, like Thanos from the Avengers movie, where it's against the conformity mentality, against the established society mentality. The Antichrist would go up against all of that. And even, see, this is the thing. Christians make me laugh because they'll say, the Antichrist is evil, the Antichrist. But actually, if you really look at it, the Antichrist is actually what they need. Because the Antichrist will wake them up from the slave mentality or the servant mentality. The Antichrist will actually make them think and see the things. You feel me? So the Antichrist is really what they're looking for. But they've been subdued into the weak mindset of looking for Jesus, who's going to keep me more enslaved mentally than anything else. John Trapacchino, good evening, brother. Good evening. Yes, Christians are a trip, but that's their mentality. That's how they view the world. But yes, the Antichrist is the adversarial current, which is what you actually need, what people actually need to hear. That doctrine, that energy, that information is what needs to be felt and heard, because that'll wake them up from being the prey, the servant, the slave. So yeah, to answer your question, that's what the adversarial current is all about. And that's what the Antichrist would be. In Islam, it would be the Dajjal. The Dajjal is similar in concept to the Antichrist. And people will tell you, well, Islam is different than Christianity. Bullshit. If you really know Islam, you will know that Islam is just another variation of Christianity who has just put Muhammad over all the other prophets, when even the Quran tells you not to put Muhammad above all the other prophets. But they do that all the time when they say, shit, my mind just went blank. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Muhammad Rasulullah. Shit, I always forget. My mind's going blank tonight. I know why. I'm agitated. That's why I keep going blank, because I'm agitated for stuff that happened earlier. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, basically, if you look at Islam, it's another variation of Christianity. And they also have the concept of the Antichrist or the Dajjal. They have a concept of Jesus coming back. Same crap. Trust me, it's the same crap. Did Islam for years. It's the same thing. I believe prophecy is self-created. And what I mean by that is your subconscious mind, your superconscious mind creates future events. And when we get there and live those future events, in other words, it can create those future events from the subjective realm, subconscious mind, And when we get there, we consider that deja vu, but you experienced it in your mind already. So, do I believe in prophecy? No. But do I believe in prophecy? Yes. What do I mean by that? The view of what prophecy is, no, I don't believe in it. But I do believe that you can create your future events and prophesize what's going to happen. And through ritual work, through dedication and hard work, mental hard work, you can actually create what you want to happen. And then some people can view that as a prophecy. If I tell you that tomorrow I'm going to the gym and I'm going to do 1,000 sit-ups and I'm going to meet a hot, sexy woman, and then I end up doing 1,000 sit-ups and a hot, sexy woman, I prophesized to you that I was going to do it tonight, and then I see y'all Sunday and I tell you that it happened. That's a prophecy. But was it really? You understand? Or did I create it from my subconscious mind? That's true, John Trabacchino. They that's always true. Exactly. It's not even. I mean, it's. Let me say this. It's 100% true. Needs and wants. What people need and what they really, what they want and what they need are two different things, but they won't accept it. That's even true when you do your ritual work. That's even true when you do certain work in your life. Period. We all want what we want, but you're not necessarily always going to get what you want. You're going to usually get what you need. And this is what I've learned on the left-hand path, as opposed to other religious, spiritual, or magical paths, is that you get what you need, not always what you want. And what you need is a kick in the ass sometimes. What you need is something to wake you up that's going to bring chaos into your life and rip your life upside down for us to wake up. That's what we need sometimes. And when that happens, we don't want to accept it. We don't want that in our life. We want the smoothness. We want the I want to ride and chill through this. But the riding and chilling ain't causing no real growth. So what we need is never usually what we're going to want to accept. But it is what we need. And we need it to bust us wide open to the reality of our own ignorance and stupidity. Sometimes we just can't see things and the chaos has to wake us up. Sometimes we're distracted and the chaos is going to wake us up. I agree with that, the viewer. Yes, a lot of people do have an ignorance barrier that is very hard to push down. Very, very difficult. And I'll even go so far as to say that our own ignorance barrier is even the hardest to tear down. Because we and ourselves have ignorance barriers that are still dwelling within us sometimes. And as far and as much as we can study, as much spiritual work we do and put into this, there's still certain barriers with ignorant barriers that we still hold on to that hold us down. I'll give you an example of what I mean. We still hold on to, we could be as spiritual as we want, we could be as occultist as we want, everything else. But and then it'll come down to an issue of race. And then here comes the problem. We're spiritual. I mean, we're just so spiritually elite sometimes. But then the racial issue will still hold us back. Or gender issues will hold us back. We're spiritually evolved a lot of times. I'm just saying, we're spiritually evolved, but then sexual preference issue will hold us back. I've heard people who've been so super spiritual, people who've been walking this left-hand path for years, which is supposed to challenge you on every level of your life. It's supposed to challenge your opinions, your views, your beliefs, your morality. All that should be challenged and questioned. And then they'll make statements against homosexuals, transgendered, bisexuals, lesbians, etc., etc., etc. If you really challenge yourself on the left-hand path, you would understand that sexual preference is just that, sexual preference. In the spiritual or in the spirit, there is no gender. But in the physical, we have manifested things into genders, defined it, which cause more divisions, when a lot of times life is more fluid than just these various barriers and definitions we create. So then we have people that so deep, dark and occultist, but still have a problem with someone because they're homosexual. Listen, I don't give a damn what the hell you like. You can like a giraffe's nuts if that's what turns you on. I don't care. I don't like them nuts, and I don't care if you like them nuts. Okay? That's your preference. If you like them, enjoy them nuts. Play with them nuts as much as you want, if that's what you like. Okay? What I do have a problem is if people try to place themselves or force themselves upon you. You understand? They try to force themselves upon you, force what they are about upon you. That's when you crossing the line. But outside of that, listen, you could be whatever you want. And if you're going to be it, I always will tell you, be that shit 100%. If whatever sexual preference you like, be the best at it that you could be. Period. Period. Listen, Soccer 13, let me tell you. T. Carter, evening. Exactly, John Trabacino. We have to move beyond race and gender, but it's become difficult for people. I don't care how deep they are into this shit. Anyways, like Soccer 13 was saying, many of the so-called conscious community always talking about how wrong homosexuality is. Let me tell you, Soccer 13 Coyote, and I will dare any of these conscious fools to come talk to me about this, and I'll tell them. Sometimes why you have such problems with homosexuality is because it's hidden within you, and you're trying to destroy it within you. So what you do is you externalize it and try to destroy other people who are like that because you haven't dealt with your own homosexuality. That's the problem. That's where a lot of that comes from. So when you deal with people in the conscious community, they're retards. A lot of them are fucktards straight up and down. They're ignorant fools who think they have some knowledge, and because they read 100 books, they're now evolved and enlightened. No, you just read books. This shit don't mean nothing. I've read 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 books. I probably have over 1,000 books in my library right now, and probably I had one time had more. Lost a lot of it through moving around. That don't mean shit. You can read anything. Doesn't mean a damn thing if you don't apply it into your life. The problem is that they don't really look or investigate things. What I mean by that is this. They won't look and see how in certain tribes in Africa, certain tribes here in America, Native American tribes, they had what was called the two spirits or the gatekeepers. Okay, there were people who were in a physical, let's say, male body, but also encompassed the feminine spirit within them, making them more potent and more spiritually adept to protect the gateways from certain spirits coming in and out that shouldn't be here. That's what homosexuals, lesbians, bisexuals, that was their gift at one time, is they were gatekeepers. But see, the conscious community don't want to hear that because they will tell you that real black people don't do this and real black people don't do that. But reality in Africa, you could find this across the continent before the religious invasion, okay? The religious mentality that's made people extreme when it comes to that. But at one time, a lot of these tribes adhered to this belief that shamans, witch doctors were two spirits. They held to both spirits because they were the gateway to the spirit realm. They don't want to hear that though, because they want to think that we were so masculine in Africa and so feminine that we didn't have these things. See, they'll claim this white supremacy is killing everything and this is that, but then their view on that, anyway, this is stupid shit, dude. That's all I can say. Okay, I don't give a damn. I'm gonna say this today, and I'm gonna say this every day from here on out. I don't give a damn what you like. what you enjoy sexually. If you're going to do it, be the best at it. Okay? That doesn't affect me. I will not be distant from you because I found out you're gay. I'm actually cool with a lot of gay people. I'm really cool with a lot of gay people. Okay? A lot of lesbians, a lot of things like that. As a matter of fact, it was a lesbian who gave me the secrets to oral sex. I ain't sharing that shit with none of y'all. No, let me stop. Anyways, however, I learned from her. She was a stud. She taught me all the secrets. And I was a young shorty. I was a young shorty. She shared the secrets. And I thank her to this very day. Because it made me lethal with it, son. Lethal. Anyway, that's a side story. Listen, Tanisha Palmer, I refer myself to anything and everything that's adversarial. I call myself a Luciferian, a vampire. I call myself a Sith. I will call myself a demon. I will call myself anything and everything because these are fluid titles. I don't adhere to any one title. I use every one of these titles because there's aspects of each one of these paths or systems or beliefs or philosophies that I grab onto and extract to create my own reality, my own system. So I extract a lot of information from Luciferianism. I extract a lot of information from demonology. I extract a lot of information from the Sith. I extract a lot of information even from the Satanic Church. I extract information from anything and everywhere you could think about. I'm going in there. And I ain't scared to go knee deep in there to grab all that information to empower myself to be the sovereign ruler and God over myself. So I will call myself anything and everything. If it gets your attention and somebody says, yo, Ravana's Luciferian, let me check him out. That's all it takes. Because now we can build another level because there's another piece coming in of other Luciferians who can add on, who could build and share through the path and experience they've walked that can help us build bigger pieces, and put these puzzles together. So I abstract information from everywhere. Don't matter. Listen, I use left-hand tantra, I use sex magic, vampirism, black magic, Luciferianism. I use it all. Sithism. The clip-off, I use it all. Because it's all about empowering yourself. Hopefully, me answering this part here help before. Maybe this question you just asked here towards the bottom, maybe I answered some of that when I was reading the question up top. So hopefully that answers some of your questions. But the second question that you put out here, how's it any different than, let's say, Christianity? You have a focus, Lucifer. Okay, I did answer a lot of that. I don't use any one system. Let me tell you the trick. On a left-hand path, the trick. Never get stuck in any one thing too long. But take your time in any one thing to master it. Some people do a ritual and then jump to another system, and they Kemetic one day, and the next day they're, let's say, Wiccan, and then the next day there's something else, and then the next day there's something else. Master your path before you jump to something else. Take your time on one path. Give it 6 months, a year, 2 years before you start jumping around like a bunny rabbit and don't master anything. See, I don't just say, okay, I went into Luciferianism and yeah, I read a few books and I'm good. No, I took time in the Luciferian path for a few years to really study that, really go deeply into it, to apply it, to see what works from it, what I can discard from it, etc., etc. But I don't adhere to any one title. I use all them titles to attract people so that we could all build from the different paths we come from. I'm left-hand path. I use any damn thing that's available to me. Anything. I'll go into Sufism and bust a move in Sufism and use it on the left-hand path. I'll go back into the church and bust a move and use it for the left-hand path. I'll go sit in the church and devour the energy from the practitioners in the congregation in the church who's hopping, jumping around, the music bopping, the energy's flowing. I'm sitting there just like, feed me, feed me. That's what a vampire does. I can go anywhere and take that energy. Ain't nothing that's going to limit me or hold me. I will use all them titles because all them titles are applicable on the left-hand path. Hopefully, that answers your question, Tanisha. Let me know if it did or didn't. That's right, Chaotic Scott. You tell her you that sexy Sith Lord. That's right. That's right. Master transformation. Oh shit, y'all getting hit with snow? That means if y'all getting hit with snow, maybe my family in Connecticut getting hit with snow too. Don't miss it. It was 77 here today and lovely. Sunny and lovely. You're welcome, Tanisha. But yeah, just a heads up. That's why I use that. To attract different individuals that can share information to assist us all on our path. Listen, I'll go to a strip club right now and get information for my path. I will worship the holy booty in the strip club if it means that I'm going to empower myself on this path. You could call me Pastor Booty Rock if that's what is necessary to master myself on this path. You feels me? So I will use anything. And that's what the mentality that a lot of us got to keep utilizing and having in our minds. You got to keep this mindset that I got to utilize all of these aspects that are available to me. I can't limit myself to just one thing. I can't just stop at any one thing. I got to be able to be fluid because that's what's going to open the doorway for your true transformation is when you're able to find information anywhere because there's not one thing is going to have all your answers. Trust me. Not any one thing is going to have all your answers. No. The answers are spread out in a lot of different things and you got to go in there and get it. Even if you got to wear a costume, even if you got to wear the mask to participate as if you're really 100% what that is, just to get the information. Got to do it. That's right, Saka 13 Coyote. There's many ways to empower yourself. Seek them all out. Numbers all have significance. Again, like it's what we were referring to. If that's what you see a lot of synchronized numbers and that's what you studied or accepted, use it. Use it. I think we said this last week. Saka 13 Coyote and I discussed this before. If you came through, let's say, Islam, there's various aspects that you could use from Islam. So like Lunar Child Skies, for example, if you've worked with the synchronicity of numbers and that's something numerology and that's something you really understand or have been understanding or studying, use it. Because it means something to you. You can utilize that in your path, in your walk. So, yes, synchronicity and synchronized numbers have meanings. And what they mean to you may not be what it means to what the overall definition given to this synchronicity means that people accept. It can mean something different to you. That's where you got to come from, the basis of what it means to you when you look at these synchronized numbers, not what's generally given. That too, the viewer, that's true, because sometimes we can synchronize numbers and we look for things in things that may not really be there. But if it works for an individual, use it. That's what I always say. If that's what you work with or that's what you accept, use it. Use it, use it, use it. Because that's what's going to help you, is to understand the concept of construction and deconstruction. Okay. A lot of us came through certain constructs, regardless if it was religious constructs, philosophies, whatever the case. You deconstruct that construct that you came under or learned from. You deconstruct it and use it for your benefit in the left-hand path. I gave an example last week, but if some of y'all missed it, I'll say it again. I studied Islam for years, but more so the mystic side of Islam through Sufism. And through Sufism, we did a lot of what is called dhikrs, okay? We did a lot of chants. We would utilize the 99 attributes of Allah. If you go through one of the attributes of Allah, al-Mukhmi means the destroyer. On a left-hand path, you'd be Allah. You'd be as 5%ers would say, which they had it right in a way, was arm, lega, arm, head. You're the master. You're the Allah. So I'm utilizing the attribute of destruction, the destroyer. And if I need it to do the dhikr for the 99 attributes of Allah, I'll do al-Mukhmi, the destroyer, for anything I need to be destroyed in my personal path, whether it's an obstacle, blockage personally, or something I feel that needs to be destroyed. I will do the dhikr using the tisbah or tasbih, which is the beads, which have 99 beads on it, and it's divided into 3 sections of 33. Okay, then I would do that today and utilize it as me being Allah and utilizing that dhikr for destruction. You understand me? So it's always how you work it. It's how you look at it and how you utilize whatever path you're looking at or came from. You can still use it in the path you're in today. Okay? So look at that. But numbers, they have symbolic meanings or significance to it. 7 has a symbolic meaning or significance to it. There's a science in the mystical part of Islam called the abjad, where the numbers have significance and the words have significance tied to numbers. So that's what you know. You could use it, but use it as the adversarial aspect of it on a left-hand path. All right, Tanisha, did you check your email? Because I sent it to you already. Let me know if it's there. I sent it to you already, so let me know if it's there before we get off this thing to make sure. Because if not, we got some craziness happening if you ain't get it. So let me once again say this before we close. Tomorrow, Sunday, we'll be doing the power of sex magic on the left-hand path with myself and Brother Rogue Titan on Zoom. If you would like an invite, go to email me at darkcultist99@outlook.com. Before 7 p.m. tomorrow, at 7 p.m., I will be sending out the invite for Sunday. So if you want to be on there with us, email me so I can send you the invite. Zoom is like Skype. It's like Google Hangouts, but better. It could be up to 100 of us there. We can see each other and we can hear each other. Okay, so we can take live questions. You don't have to type. It's on real time. I unmute you. You ask your question. We interact and dialogue right there immediately. Real cool app. If you don't have it, download the app. Real cool. If you want to be on there, I'll send you the link or the invite. The link is on there. You can join us tomorrow. Shit. You can join us Sunday. Okay, Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The Power of Sex Magic on the Left-Hand Path. Please do not come if you have virgin ears, because we ain't virgins. Well, hopefully, most of us ain't virgins. But don't come if you have virgin ears, okay? Now, you can come if you're freaky. You're more than invited. We look for all freaks to be there Sunday. Anyways, I'm just joking. Maybe I'm not joking. But yeah, don't come if you are easily offended by sexual talk. But if you enjoy sexual talk, be there. All right, because we're going to go in on the power of sex magic, and it's not for sensitive ears. We're going to be speaking about different ways to empower yourself sexually. Some people are just not ready for that. I'm just being real. I'm going to give you a warning. So next Thursday. Yay. Good, Tanisha. I'm happy. Now I can breathe easier. Next Thursday will be the first official vampiric class. If you would like to join, the deadline is Sunday at 11 p.m. for the vampiric class. The first official class will be this Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Zoom. If you would like to be in that, you have to sign up. It's only $20 for the class. We already went in yesterday. We went in. It wasn't an official class, but we still went in. So you'll receive homework and a little mini ritual to do. By this Sunday, you'll also receive the self-realization initiation, where you're initiating yourself under the vampiric current. All right. The classes. Let me see how many classes. There's going to be at least 10 to 15 classes in the vampiric class. I don't put a number on it because we move at the pace of the individuals. So if people feel like they still want to go over a concept and everybody else agrees, let's go over this concept before we move on, it gets extended. So I don't really put a number on that. I just know that offhand, I got at least 10 to 15 lessons already there, but it could last longer than that. I'm not rushing people. I would love for people to get the concept and apply it and understand it. This is why I give homework. The homework is actual things you have to apply and practice to see if it worked for you or not. Trina, peace. Nice to see you, Trina. So, again, the vampiric class sign up. The deadline is 11 p.m. Eastern Time Sunday. 11 p.m. Eastern Time Sunday. If you want to sign up, it's $20. Email me at darkcultist99outlook.com and I'll send you the information to sign up. All right. I'll put the email here again. So we will be going over the first official vampiric class Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We had a nice little class on Thursday. There's homework that came from it. It was really nice. Good vibe, and we built and shared a lot of information with each other. So this Thursday is going to be even better. All right, so sign up. Deadline for that is 11 p.m. Next Friday, I won't be here. I have other engagements I must handle. And next Sunday, we won't be on Zoom. So in 2 weeks after this Sunday, it'll be the next class Sunday will be in 2 weeks. And that's when we'll do part 2 to the power of sex magic, and the cosmic serpent will join us then. She's not able to join us this Sunday for unexpected things that came up. All right. So if you're afraid to be seen, If you don't want people to see you, if that's why you're not wanting to come on Zoom, shame on you. There's no judgment. Yeah, I think it's an app. I think you could also connect online, but you could also connect to your phone through an app. So, and you can connect through your computer, and the app is downloaded to your computer. I use my computer, the computer I'm on now. That's how I conduct the Zoom class, through my computer. But most of the people are on their phone, and it works fine. The picture is clear, the sound is clear, so it works good. So if people want to get down with that, get down with it. If you think you not too, if you too sexy to join us, that's understood. But if you feel you ain't too sexy and you ain't afraid of being seen, that's all good too. Just come and join us. Ain't no judgment. If you look good, you look good. If you whatever, whatever. Yeah, I know. I saw that, Smooth the God. The Serpent Crystal email is what I use for the payments. Dark Codes is 99 is where I get the information of who wants to get involved. Then I'll send you a link to that. So you good, Smooth the God. Don't worry. Yeah, by PayPal. That's the information for the payments for the class. So don't worry. You good. The books are Sechema Pep, which you already have, I'm sure. And the other book is Vampire Magic by Father Sebastian. That's the two books we're coming from for now. There'll be other books that will be required later on down the road, but for now, those two books. All right. So let's wrap this up. Again, hit me up with that email. Let me know who wants to be down with the Zoom class on Sunday, who wants to get with the vampiric class. I thank y'all for joining. I thank y'all for showing up. It's been fun. And I think you guys are amazing and goddamn crazy. But it's all good because I'm crazy as can be too, in a good way. Good, good. Yeah, that works. Amazon Kindle works too. So doesn't matter. Just if you could also, if you're on scrib.com, it's like an Amazon Kindle, but it lets you read books and documents there. It's also on there too. And it's only $8.99 a month. All right. So have a hell of a night, y'all. I'm about to eat again. Enjoy your evening. If y'all ready to go party, whoever's going to party, go party. If y'all getting your freak on tonight, enjoy yourself. And if y'all just gonna be like me, watching TV, a movie, kicking back, enjoy yourself doing that too. If you guys going to snore and sleep, enjoy yourself too. All right. Peace is a lie. There's only passion. Through passion, I gain strength. Through strength, I gain power. Through power, I gain victory. Through victory, my chains are broken. Let's get it. Let's get it, y'all. All right. 1.